Easy through Thursday. Well, more on that full forecast coming up. NBC Palm Springs at 6 starts right now.
Now, this is NBC Palm Springs.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Olivia Sandusky.
And I'm Mark Mester. We start tonight with Short Fest. It's officially underway tonight in Palm Springs. It's a week-long celebration, bringing together filmmakers and fans from around the world for things like screenings, panels, and premieres.
Tonight, our Manny the Movie Guy joins us live. He's out there on the red carpet speaking to all the stars involved. Hey, Manny, how's it going out there tonight?
Hello, Olivia. That's right. Creative filmmakers and some movers and shakers are lining up for the opening night screening of the Palm Springs Short Fest. Joining us live tonight is Lily Rodriguez, Artistic Director of the Fest. Hello, Lily. Nice to see you again.
Hi, Manny. So good to be with you.
Oh, nice to see you. But paint the picture for us. What can we expect of this year's festival?
So Short Fest is so fun because we have over 300 short films that we've selected. So a short film for us is anything that's under 40 minutes. And what we do is we take these 300 short films and we put them into blocks that are strung together by theme or by category. And so if you're a sci-fi fan, we have a program for you called A World Imagined. If you like horror films, we have a block called Thrills and Chills. We have a block for kids called Shorties. And so when you purchase a ticket or when you go to a festival, you go see a block and you can watch, 90 minutes of short films.
Okay, so you can either purchase a block or you can purchase a day pass, right?
You can purchase a block or you can purchase a pass that gets you in the whole week. So you can watch, as little or as much as your heart desires.
Now, tell me about this, Lily. I've always been wondering about the Academy Award qualifying criteria of the fest. What does it mean? Does it mean that when your film is already shown, does it get you to does it qualify you or what?
It doesn't mean that. So we have, it's a competitive festival, which means that the 300 films are in some sort of competition. We have 18 awards, and 5 of those awards are Academy qualifying, which means if you win one of those 5, you're automatically eligible to submit to the Oscars for consideration. And so that's what that means. And we love our winners, but we also love all the other films.
Yeah, and you know why I'm so in love with the Short Fest is that many films had come out from here, had gone on to win Oscars for Best Short Film or Best Short Documentary, and I love that about the fest. So those people that are interested to buy tickets, where do they go?
The best place is to go to our website. You can review your calendar and check to see what's playing. I met a person a really long time ago who would literally just close their eyes and pick a program and was surprised by what they chose, and they loved doing it that way. So it depends what you like. You can search by genres, you can search by day, you can search by whatever your heart desires.
I will be buying a whole block, Lily. Thank you so much. Let's see you again. And you guys, come join me. Let's all watch the films together. Back to you guys.
All right, we thank Manny for that. We're giving you a live look tonight from our Agua Caliente casino camera high above downtown Palm Springs. Looking like a lovely night out there based on not only forecast, but also what Manny and his guests were wearing. Warm night out there, right?
Yeah, he looks like he's ready to have a good time. And he invited us out there, which you don't have to tell me twice, to go watch some great films. I know we always say that here in the desert, but there's always something happening here in the Coachella Valley. So go check it out. You can sit next to Manny there. Beautiful day today. We are slightly below average. And yet again, we're able to stay in the 90s, which is just so rare. I feel like for most places, it's probably like, oh, 90s, another hot day for us. Yeah, that's kind of nice when we are typically this time of year. We see some of the hottest temperatures. 120, I think, is the record-breaking number back from 2017. So 98 degrees right now in downtown Palm Springs. Here's a look at those current wind gusts. Onshore flow at this hour, 24-mile-per-hour wind gusts for Palm Springs. So wind's not really a concern for us this week. We'll call it breezy for us here on the Coachella Valley floor. Desert Hot Springs on the other side of the 10 there, the wind corridor there. Winds pick up a little bit as we get into the sunset hour. Something to keep in mind as far as this evening, we'll be in the 90s through the 8 o'clock hour, 86 by 10 o'clock. By midnight tonight, we'll be in the 80s. So it's a little warm. Wait for that sun to set to maybe go for your evening stroll or sit on the patio. Here's a look at your covered air 3-day forecast. Below average, that's going to be changing as we get in the second half of the work week and into the weekend teens, possibly in our forecast as we get into next week. We'll break down what we can expect in that full forecast coming up.
Thank you, Chloe. We have some continuing coverage tonight. The suspect charged with bombing a Palm Springs fertility clinic has died in federal custody. Daniel Park was accused of supplying the materials used in that deadly explosion. Our Brett Rosen joining us live in studio tonight with reaction to this announcement. Brett?
Olivia, the announcement came from the Department of Justice. Daniel Park, age 32, was found unresponsive around 7 a.m. at the Metropolitan Detention Center in L.A., where he was being held. Park's death leaving some with questions that will never fully be answered. The Department of Justice says when they found Park, they initiated life-saving measures at the Metropolitan Detention Center. Park later was transported to a local hospital where he was officially pronounced dead. Authorities say Park was a co-conspirator, supplying the alleged bomber, Guy Barkas, with large amounts of chemicals used in the explosion, destroying an entire city block, totaling over $6 million in damages.
We're a year opened, and now we're looking to open up in July again.
One of many victims on May 17th, Velvet Rope hotel owner David Rios says with the death of Park, no one will ever truly know the answer as to why.
It's disappointing because I think that there could be some type of discussion and for us to get to understand his mind frame.
No answers, no jail time, having no justice is what David Rios says is the most unsettling part of Daniel Park's death.
You rest easier at night knowing that he's locked up and knowing that there is some type of accountability for this. But right now, there's nothing. We're left with no answers. And again, that's frustration.
It's been just over a month since the bombing. The IVF clinic has been totally demolished. Dr. Maher Abdallah says seeing the original building finally gone has been a part of the healing process.
Passing by those damaged buildings was really painful on all of us, especially the staff. So seeing it all down and now we just have to rebuild it from the beginning, it does bring relief.
According to Dr. Abdallah, the new clinic building is set to reopen by May 15th of next year, 2 days before the anniversary of the bombing. Something he says is not a coincidence.
It is a statement in that we just want to show how fast we recovered, and we don't want to waste too much time. I mean, we want to carry on with normal operations. And
as of right now, we don't know the exact cause of death for Daniel Park. We are still waiting on the medical examiner's report. For NBC Palm Springs, I'm Brett Rosen.
All right, Brett, thanks for that live report. Turning to some local news this evening, Riverside County is teaming up with 11 other Southern California agencies to tackle mosquito-borne diseases. The Board of Supervisors voted unanimously to join a mutual aid agreement to boost vector control efforts. It means environmental health crews can now respond quickly across district lines to help stop outbreaks. Officials say the goal is to eliminate threats like West Nile virus before it spreads.
And Palm Springs City Council has a full agenda planned for Wednesday night's meeting. Members will discuss everything from the display of the prisoner of war flag to a new 3-year agreement to run for the city's skate park. They'll also review plans to renovate the spray ground at Downtown Park and hold a public hearing on the proposed 2-year city budget. This meeting starts at 5:30 at City Hall. Residents can attend either in person or tune in live on the city's YouTube channel.
Developing tonight, a controversial plan to sell off millions of acres of public land in the West has been temporarily halted. This is a relief tonight for campers, hikers, and hunters who rely on those spaces. The measure, backed by Utah Senator Mike Lee, would have allowed federal land to be sold for housing development, but the Senate parliamentarian ruled it couldn't be included in the budget bill. Lee says he'll try again, possibly with a revised version that targets land near populated areas. Advocates for public land say they're ready to keep fighting to protect these outdoor spaces, especially those closest to communities where people connect with nature every day.
Riverside County supervisors have signed off on a nearly $10 billion budget for the upcoming fiscal year. It's a part of the plan that they're implementing. They're including targeting hiring freezes to help close a projected funding gap. This isn't the first time the county has taken this step. The last freeze in the 2016-17 fiscal year saved up to $50 million. Payroll makes up about half of the county's entire budget, with more than 25,000 employees on staff. Some departments, though, including Animal Services, the DA's office, and the Sheriff's Department, won't be affected by those freezes. Coming up next year on NBC Palm Springs, one local organization is delivering hope one grocery order at a time. After the break, our Antonio Marquez will bring us the latest details.
And then it's Tuesday. Crypto Fitz is back with us. He's going to tell us the latest takeaways from Bitcoin 2025.
And here are your gold and silver prices on this Tuesday evening. Those headlines right after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Grocery deliveries are doing more than just filling up pantries locally. They're offering peace of mind to immigrant families who are afraid to leave their homes due to recent ICE activity.
Tonight, our Antonio Marquez has more on how local nonprofits are stepping up to help.
That's right, a bag of groceries is making all the difference in the lives of families that are too scared to come out of their homes due to ICE activity around the community. TODEC is known for defending immigrant rights throughout the valley, but now they're also helping in another way by making sure families don't go without food.
Without work for a worker, it's a lifeline. They don't, they rely on their jobs to make sure they're feeding their families, that they make sure they have their money for rent. And many families have told us they're scared of leaving their house. So that's why we started this initiative with the help of many people that are donating food and resources. And
many families are afraid to leave their homes because of recent ICE operations and reports of immigration agents being present in the community.
As a valley, we've always come together to support community, and right now our farm workers and their families are in so much pain and so much fear that we have to continue doing what we can.
For Frances, a mother who received groceries today, this means a lot to her and her family. She tells us that the fear has affected both her mental health and that of her family, as they felt unable to leave their home. But thanks to the support they received today from TODEC, she's happy to see the community coming together. And she also mentioned receiving all this support gives her a bit of motivation that someday her family will hopefully go back to what their day-to-day was. And TODEC is also trying its best to get to that point.
Create a consciousness within our government that we need to do better as a state to protect the well-being of our farm workers, of our workers, that the only thing they ask for is to work, so they have money to pay the rent, so they have money to feed their kids.
TODEC will keep receiving donations so they can keep helping families and give them resources. Antonio Marquez, NBC Palm Springs.
All right, thanks to Antonio for that tonight. Updates tonight to a new $16 million storm water diversion tunnel in Palm Springs. It aims to protect residents and businesses from future flood risks. Project known as Palm Springs Line 41 runs under Highway 111. It was crucial in preventing flooding damage during Hurricane Hilary back in 2023. The latest maps approved by the county remove more than 500 structures from a FEMA high flood risk zone, which could lead to lower flood insurance premiums for property owners. The removal takes effect July 18th. Residents are encouraged to review their insurance options.
CryptoFits is back with the last of his interviews from Bitcoin Conference 2025. He had the chance to speak with the creator of Litecoin.
We're back at Bitcoin Conference 2025 in Las Vegas, and Charlie Lee, who created Litecoin, is part of the conference, and he's going to spend a minute or two with us. Charlie, Litecoin, a lot of curiosity about it. You see it listed on some of the business news channels, the prices every day. What is Litecoin and what's the utility?
Litecoin is, we've been around for 14 years now, so it's one of the oldest cryptocurrencies. And the main purpose of Litecoin is for payments, for everyday usage.
These days and your journey for years, what's your biggest challenge now going forward?
Biggest challenge is still adoption, like getting people to use Litecoin, getting the word out there. I mean, once you've used Litecoin, you realize how good and how fast and easy it is. But there's a lot of noise, right? There's a lot of meme coins, a lot of other stuff out there that is grabbing people's attention. And Litecoin is not as sexy as a lot of the other meme coins, but it's actually a lot more useful. So adoption is key.
Charlie, thank you so much. Creator of Litecoin, what a project, and good luck. And everyone is rooting for the entire ecosystem, as we know. I'm CryptoFits every Tuesday in the 6 o'clock news, bringing you up to date on what's happening with the intersection of technology and finance, and it's changing in warp speed. We have great archive segments on the NBCPalmSprings.com website. Look for the CryptoFits folder, and we archive all of our segments, plus Bitcoin glossary terms, and some special interviews that we did not air on the regular newscast that we put on the website from Bitcoin Conference 2025. Some good stuff and good information in there, so check it out when you get a chance. NBCPalmSprings.com. I'm Jimmy Fitz. Thank you so much.
Our thanks to Jimmy for that. On this Tuesday, we're bringing you live images from our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera. Chloe Carlson standing by with a look at her forecast for the middle part of our work week. That's when we come right back. Got the lineup out for Splash House 2025, and it's stacked. Weekend one, it runs August 8th through the 10th, features names like A Craze, Troy Boy, Hayden James, and special after hours set with Diplo, B2B, Blondish. Weekend two, that's August 15th to the 17th. That brings big energy with SoFi Tucker, Boys Noise, and a closing DJ set from Disclosure. Festival takes place over 3 Palm Springs hotels with after-hour shows at the Air Museum, and remaining passes go on sale this Thursday.
Looking forward to that. Going to be very exciting. We get into August and maybe slightly cooler. Let's be honest, it's going to still be hot in August. Here's a live look at the Walter Clark Highway 11 Cam and Ranch and Mirage. Mostly clear blue skies out there today. There's a few high clouds that are hanging out throughout today across Southern California. Other than that, pretty beautiful day today. Yeah, we got right to triple digits, 100 degrees for the high today. So we were below average. That is a trend that we had for the last couple of days, and it was very nice because typically as we get into late June, it's been 120. 122 was a record-breaking number back in 2017, so no complaints about the high today. Unfortunately, that is going to change. So those hot conditions will be back in the desert, but we all know we love it here. We know the summers will be hot. At this hour, 96 on the southeast end in Indio, 93 on the other side of 10 there in Thousand Palms, 87 for those in Desert Hot Springs. And if you're thinking, it's still pretty hot here, well, we are not the only ones. Here's a look at the highs across the U.S. today. 99 in Boston. Philadelphia actually beat us today, 101 for their high. Phoenix also beat us, 103. So a heat wave across good portions of the U.S. today. Overnight tonight will be 70s here on the desert floor. Dry conditions remain consistent for us, below 10% for that relative humidity. So Wednesday and Thursday, copy and paste. Pretty similar conditions, 104 to 108 both days. A ridge of high pressure will start to build in as we get into the second half of our work week, really ramping up the temperatures as we get into the weekend. So 107 to 111 for our Saturday, drying warm conditions for us here on the West Coast. Here's a look at your Comfort Air 7-day forecast. So we'll say seasonal through Thursday, warming up, getting us to 113 by next Monday.
And now the Agua Caliente Entertainment Report, brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Tonight we're getting a behind-the-scenes look at The Journey. It's a new documentary from NBC Palm Springs weekend workout instructor David Lyons. Premiered Saturday, June 21st at the Culver Theater as part of the Marina Del Rey Film Festival. The film follows Lyons' inspiring path as a bodybuilder, living with MS and his work through the MS Fitness Challenge charity, featuring appearances by fitness legends like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Lou Ferrigno. You can catch David every Saturday, 5 p.m. right here on NBC Palm Springs.
Agua Caliente's 80s Fest returns June 28th, a full day of music, nostalgia, and poolside fun in Rancho Mirage. Headliners Loverboy, The Smithereens, and Vixen take the stage at 6 o'clock. The celebration kicks off earlier in the day. There's a DJ spinning some poolside tracks that starts at 1. Tickets start at $40. That includes a pool day pass with limited additional passes and cabana rentals available as well.
The NBC Palm Springs Sports Desk with Tim O'Brien. Brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Well, with the summer temps in full swing, tee times on the course much earlier. That leaves you with a whole lot of daylight and nothing to do. An indoor pickleball facility is the place to be this summer to stay active and cool. Take a look.
I'm Tom Lanza. I'm the manager here at Pickle Bar for about 2 years now. Oh, that was gonna hurt. Pickle Bar is one of the few indoor courts, legit indoor courts. It's an outdoor surface made by the people that do Indian Wells, the BNP. The only indoor courts in Palm Desert, legit indoor courts. As soon as it gets hot, it's like night and day. It's probably 100% increase in business. And the air quality. Ever since we had that storm a couple years ago, the air quality, we've got this particulate dust in the air that a lot of people just can't breathe. And this is the place to be. We have a tight-knit community, and once you get your way in there, you'll have friends for life. The game is just so social, it's unbelievable. We have a really great sponsor. It's First Strike Pickleball. They're firststrikepickleball.com. That's a husband and wife duo, Perry and Terry. They also do most of our clinics and at least half of our lessons, if not more. And we're so excited to have them as our sponsor for the whole time we've been here. We're in the Costco Shopping Center, Dinah Shore in Monterey. The big red pickleball sign at the top of the building. If you're walking into Costco and you look left, you can't miss it.
Well, the game continues to grow inside and out right here in the Coachella Valley. That'll do it in sports. I'm Tim O'Brien.
Brighter Side of the News is brought to you by Fiesta Kia. Discover the all-new Fiesta Kia located in the I-10 Auto Mall.
For 26 years, Scott Nickerson has safely driven students to and from school in Maine. But his last 20 days of each year come with a twist. The Newport bus driver wears a different Hawaiian shirt every day to spread a little summer joy. The colorful tradition started after a cruise with his daughter and has since become a hit with the students. Nickerson says it's not just about the shirts, it's about sharing a positive attitude that kids can carry into the summer. It's been a very popular look online as well, and you can see why it kind of gives off a Hawaiian Santa.
I was going to say, the nice beard along with the Hawaiian shirts, too.
Yeah.
It's still chilly in Maine this time of year, so he's cold in the morning. It's not fooling me.
All right, that's going to do it for us tonight. We're back here with the latest headlines coming up at 11 o'clock, so please join us for that. Meantime, we'll send things over to Fred Rogan. He's got the latest tonight with the Rogan Report. Hey, Fred.
Hey, Mark. The Rogan Report is presented by The Living Desert.
Here is the good thing about electric vehicles. They're quiet, they don't make a sound, creating a sense of peace while you're driving. Here is the bad thing about electric cars. They're quiet and don't make a sound and could run you over because you can't hear them. That's about to change. Happy Tuesday. Have you noticed a trend while you're out shopping? Seems like there are fewer people working in stores. Bruce watches our show and wrote in that on his last trip to Costco, he needed some help, but there was nobody there. And he said he wasn't the only one. Bruce went on to say, I saw more than a few elderly people struggling to pack and load their carts, a terrible thing for Costco to do. Well, Bruce was told Costco was going through scheduling issues. That didn't make Bruce's life any better. Everybody knows businesses are always looking for ways to cut wherever they can. That means they'll keep the profit up. The concern, and it's not just Costco, seniors make a large portion of the population here in the Valley, and they are less likely to use online delivery services. So when they've got to go to the store, they could use some help. Contributors on the program tonight, Chauncey Thompson, Stephanie Miner. Chauncey, you're up first. Have you noticed less staffing when you go out and go shopping?
You know what? I have seen less staffing, but I think it's more seasonal versus, cutting back of hours. I frequent Costco more than I probably should. And I saw less people working there last week when I was there, but I think it's just because we're in the summer season. There's less snowbirds and foot traffic. Stephanie, what do you think?
I think that across the board, grocery stores are cutting down on staff. I see that. We know that Fred loves to bring up his own groceries. We've talked about that a couple of times, but I do not. And I think that they should bring back more people. I also think that if seniors feel like they have to carry heavy things, that they'll start to go elsewhere, and that will hurt Costco.
All right, two things. First, I do like to ring up my own stuff. I enjoy it greatly. And second, Chauncey, you go to a Costco for that hot dog? Little hot dog?
Actually, I'm one of the few people, I have never had the Costco hot dog, but I've had the pizza.
You're not living. You're not living. You got to try the hot dog. You think?
I haven't had it either, Chauncey. I haven't tried that hot dog.
That's two of us.
Yeah, but I knew you wouldn't have it, Stephanie. I know that, but Chauncey at least. All right. You think stores should take into account the age of their clientele when they're staffing fewer people, Stephanie?
I do, absolutely, especially in where we live. Maybe it doesn't matter in a college town, but it definitely matters here. And like I said before, if seniors know that they're going to go to Costco and get help, maybe they'll go there versus another grocery store where they have to put a quarter in the shopping cart and bag their own groceries. So why wouldn't Costco bring in more people to help our seniors here?
Chauncey, how should stores balance the needs of those they serve and their financial well-being? Is there a way to do that?
I think you have to look at the demographics of each of your clients, and I think Costco probably has done that. I've seen more elderly folks at Costco in the morning, so I think maybe they staff more associates in the morning versus the afternoon when maybe a younger generation is coming in and they can move their items on their own. I'm sure that there's a method. They're probably using AI of some sort to figure out the scheduling pattern and understanding their clients and knowing how to staff.
All right. Let me ask you, you ever get annoyed with your phone? Here you go. Boom. Specifically, the number of alerts you get on your phone. People are starting to complain about alert fatigue. How many alerts do you get on your phone every day? Some people get 50 or more, and a new study reveals that many phone users are experiencing that fatigue, and they're thinking about disabling the alerts altogether. Producer Kevin said he turned off his news notifications over the weekend, and he had the best weekend he has had in a long time. People are bombarded with updates. The overwhelming volume can cause stress and disengagement from important information. Research says the trend could impact how news organizations reach their audiences in the future. Many people are simply uninstalling the news app that sends out the notifications. Stephanie, how do you think news outlets can adapt to alert fatigue?
I think that they should not have everything be breaking news. If everything is urgent, then nothing is urgent, and we're going to tune you out. And so when bombs are dropping, we don't know about it because we can't take it anymore. What do you think, Chauncey?
I agree. I think we have to gauge on a scale of maybe 1 to 10. Where does the alert fall? If it's not an 8 through a 10, then it's not breaking news. And yeah, it should be reserved for instances where, you know, are we potentially being attacked? Are we attacking somebody else? And I'm sure over the weekend we got tons of alerts like we saw, and different variances of communication coming from those different companies. So yeah, let's have a Richter scale of the alerts.
All right, let me tell you how breaking news works, just so you guys understand. And I know this because it's been my business for so many years, and there's research behind it. Anytime you see red, breaking news, the red catches your eye, it signals alert, and that means that you're more apt to look at it, be it on the screen, on your phone. Problem is, and I think, Stephanie, you pointed this out, now everything is breaking news. And the reason that is because that red gets you to react immediately, and they think you'll click on it. Yeah, I think it's way, way overused, way too much. Even NBC Nightly News, and I've worked for NBC for almost 50 years. NBC Nightly News, breaking news. It happened at noon. It happened at noon. It can't be breaking news now. How do you think news outlets can adapt to alert fatigue, Stephanie?
Again, I mean, I just am saying not everything is breaking news. Not every single thing is breaking news. And I mean, that's all I can say. Maybe they make some of the alerts green, or maybe after a certain time period, it's not breaking news anymore. Because again, people are so fatigued and so tired and that they're uninstalling the apps, and that hurts television stations.
All right, alert fatigue is one thing, but sometimes you need to be alerted. One of the selling points of electric vehicles is how quiet they are. No engine sounds to disturb you. But what if you can't hear a car coming? That could be dangerous. A new initiative is underway to ensure electric vehicles emit sounds to alert pedestrians, especially those with visual impairments. Their quiet operation of EVs raises safety concerns, so sound systems are going to have to be installed. The move aims to enhance safety while still promoting the benefits of electric transportation, and the experts believe the sounds can help create a safer environment without being overly disruptive. Okay, Chauncey, how can we balance the need for safety with the desire for quiet in urban areas?
I don't know, but I did read the article, and I know they were trying to say 16 feet, alerting people 16 feet away. And I'm not sure if that's enough time to jump out of the way of a moving vehicle if something is coming. I don't have an electric vehicle yet, so you can hear my car coming. So I guess we put some type of exhaust filtered thing on something around the tires to alert people, but it makes me think of the Office episode from a few years back when someone's running over with an electric vehicle because you couldn't hear it. But Stephanie, your thoughts?
Well, I think, why can't it just sound like a regular car? They're putting, like you said, speakers behind the tires. We're used to hearing a regular car, and I will move out of the way if I hear a regular car. If I hear a waterfall coming towards me, I'm going to look and stop in the middle of the crosswalk and get run over. Also, these cars are so quiet. Britney Spears, the little pop star, her sister has run over a couple of her cats and killed them because the cats didn't hear the car. So it's dangerous for humans, it's dangerous for animals, and I just think, why can't it sound like a regular car?
Okay, so what types of sounds would be most effective for alerting pedestrians? What do you think, Stephanie?
Like a regular car, I want to hear the little exhaust going by so that I know. I mean, again, if there's some of these people are talking about waterfall sounds, jungle sounds, that's weird. I'm not gonna, that doesn't sound like anything that I'm used to. So why can't they just kind of blend in with the sounds that we are already familiar with?
Chauncey, do you think it'll change the perception of electric vehicles in the community?
No, I think people are going to decide if they want one or not. I don't think they're going to buy it based off of a sound or caring enough of what other people think about the sounds that are coming from the car to alert them. So I don't see a perception change.
Okay, yesterday, Assemblyman Carl DeMaio was on the program. He didn't hold back in his assessment of CVUSD. He thought it was ridiculous they fought against the state audit and wondered, what could they be hiding? Now the audit is dead, but is that the end of it?
Look, if they had nothing to hide, they wouldn't be showing up saying, no, we don't want to do the audit. They wouldn't be calling in favors from a powerful state senator to avoid the audit, to kill the audit. Something smells here. And now I think our best hope is on two fronts. Number one, if I were a taxpayer in this school district, I'd be voting out the entire damn board for the tricks that they just played to deny an audit. And number two, I'm hoping that U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley, who has oversight over Riverside County, where this district is located, I hope that the U.S. Attorney asks the Federal Bureau of Investigation to start looking into the school district. We're going to find that this is a school district with not only mismanagement problems, but I think corruption problems. There are so many irregularities in the contracts that they've been giving that I believe that they're trying to hide something, and it's time for us to get to the bottom of it.
To be clear, Assemblyman DeMaio has no skin in the game. He does not represent Coachella. He looked at the evidence and plainly saw the issues. Like DeMaio, many in the community are still looking for accountability from CVUSD.
Good job. Please stop. Perfect.
Here's what Michael said. What a great job in today's interview with the Assemblyman from the state legislator's office. I knew this was not over. Barbara questioned if anyone knew when the last outside audit happened. I'm surprised that the money they receive annually from the state, federal, or other organizations does not require an outside audit to show where funds they receive were spent. On Facebook, many people agreed with DeMaio, and of course, there were the expected attacks on his character. Mary posted, how much money did the district spend to avoid an audit? Jesse posted, all righty then. This investigation has to continue on until we all know the truth of all the money being spent. Steve posted, especially enjoyed the part where he repeatedly called for the entire board to be out of office. CVUSD defender Johnny Ortiz jumped in. This is all political grandstanding. The states are responsible for the schools. When you don't get your way, you want the government to get involved. And then, of course, people attack DeMaio because they don't like what he's saying. Keep in mind, we've had this come up a few times. When you post something on a public platform, it's the same as saying it in public. Just because you wrote it doesn't mean there are no consequences. Assemblyman DeMaio would like to see some consequences for CVUSD.
Good job. Please stop. Perfect.
Can we agree to disagree? Can we agree you'll tell us what you think? Find Fred on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Fred Rogan. You can also email thedesertdean@gmail.com.
Do online influencers still matter? Let's be honest, you cannot escape this if you go online. Influencers are there promoting products they are paid to promote, the equivalent of junk mail, and you can't escape. But is it as effective as it used to be? Influencer marketing is losing its punch. Consumers becoming more skeptical of sponsored content, and they want authenticity. Brands are now struggling to connect with audiences who are tired of overly polished promotions. As a result, companies are reevaluating their strategies to focus on genuine engagement and real relationships. Okay, either one of you use influencers in your business. I'll start with you, Chauncey. Why or why not?
We have not, and it's kind of hard to find somebody that says, oh, I have a tax problem and I went to Barton CPA for it to get fixed. So we're not the most popular industry for influencers.
Stephanie, you could be.
I do not use influencers. My brand is built around me and authenticity, telling nonprofits what they need to do to move forward. I tell the truth. And if I do branding, I use them to give the testimonials because they've been through the experience. I don't want to pay somebody just to be paying somebody. That doesn't make sense to me.
Are you more apt to buy something that an influencer spoke about or tried to trumpet? Does that even affect you, Stephanie?
It only affects me because they may introduce a product to me that I haven't seen before. So I do follow some influencers. There's a girl named Michaela on TikTok, and she does beautiful makeup tutorials, and she's always introducing new products. But then I dive deeper and find out for myself. I'm not just going to take an influencer's word. What about you, Chauncey?
I'm the same way, Stephanie. So if I'm on TikTok, I might look at whatever item that they're pushing on the TikTok shop. I bought a few things and realized the quality isn't the best, so I'm more skeptical. But you know, there are some influencers that I think relate more to the individual, and they're giving us a snapshot into the regular life, where celebrities who were the original influencers on commercials, we didn't see them getting ready and making lunch for their kids, and that's where those influencers gain their trust, or vice versa, by watching their everyday lives in motion.
You know, I'm wondering, and I don't have this research, and maybe you guys have heard it before, from a purchase standpoint, proof of performance, would young people be more apt to click on that from an influencer than somebody in their 40s or 50s? What do you think, Chauncey?
Oh, I definitely think so. And real quick, a few weeks ago, I was at Disneyland and they had their 70th anniversary going. Disneyland packed that park with influencers of all different age groups.
Yeah.
And I mean, from my kids to adults running around chasing their favorite influencers. I'm like, I don't know who half of these people are. They have it dialed in. So I don't think this is the last we're going to see of influencers. I think it's just the beginning.
Okay. Suzanne from Thousand Palms told us yesterday in Good Neighbor she's looking for a new female doctor. Richie has a suggestion for her. Give her Dr. Lauren Kahori at Desert Oasis Health, who is my doctor. Give her a try, he says. She is not only a doctor, but a very nice lady as well. Open your mouth and stick out your tongue. That's the best way to be a good neighbor. Vanessa, Palm Desert, looking for somebody to change your pool light. Anita in Rancho Mirage is looking for referrals for someone to help her find a security door and installer. Jackie Thousand Palms says she'd like some advice. New to the desert, needs window coverings that help keep the heat out. And Rich in La Quinta had 6 palm trees that needed trimming, and he's looking to have it done sometime this week. Where should he head? It's only in the upper 90s, and that's pretty comfortable for the valley. But when will the real heat be back? Only Chloe, the magic of super weather, know.
Well, hey, Fred, just wanted to let you know we are okay. Obviously, a very frigid summer for us. This is normally what we are normally expecting, 122. We expect to the 120s, 101 for the high today. So be safe, stay inside, and stay warm. Back to you.
Hang tight. I'm just around the corner.
Hey, riddle me this. I have branches, but no fruit, trunk or leaves. What am I?
Bank? Maybe? Early '82, some young motorcycle and ATV riders rode into the desert and discovered one of the world's most iconic rock bands, and they left behind some interesting souvenirs. Here's NBC Palm Springs historian Steve Summerall.
It was just another recreational desert outing for a group of Valley residents.
We came out here one day to go riding on Avenue 38, which is known as a miniature Glamis for their sand dunes. And we saw a big camera crew out here, big trucks, and they were filming a video for the band Fleetwood Mac, Hold of Me. And we got to meet all the stars and everybody, and it was kind of neat. And it will always be something to remember. They were pretty fascinated with us, because we're out in the middle of the desert. Of course, meeting Stevie Nicks, Mick Fleetwood was very interesting. And I wish we would have had smartphones back then.
But it wasn't just some fond memories that Fleetwood Mac left behind. There were some interesting souvenirs.
A lot of people found guitars. I heard people come out here, collected them, tried to get the autographs and all kinds of stuff. They kind of came out here, filmed this thing, drove off, and kind of abandoned it.
For Desert in a Minute, this is NBC Palm Springs historian Steve Summerall.
Learn something every week. He does that. Your daily dose of cuteness when we return.
Hi everyone, Jenny Lin coming to you from the Living Desert Zoo and Gardens field site in Mongolia. And a few of you have been wondering, what are these white tents? Well, they're where I've been staying on this whole trip, so let's talk about it. Gers are traditional Mongolian homes. People here in Iknart live in gers, and many people in the capital city, Ulaanbaatar, or as we like to call it, UB, also live in gers. One thing to keep in mind if you ever visit a ger, I'm 5'3" for reference. So the doors are pretty short, you're gonna wanna duck. And, as you'd expect from the outside, everything in here is circular. That's designed for space efficiency and so they can be packed up and traveled with. You'll see we even have a stove here because people traditionally eat, live, and sleep in this space. But here at camp, we have gers for sleeping, gers for cooking, and a ger for eating and meeting. Honestly, I'm really gonna miss living here. It's been very cozy, and every morning I get to hear the birds wake me up. Honestly, it doesn't get much better than that.
Rogan Report was presented by the Living Desert Zoo and Gardens.
Look closely at the screen. It's not a mirage, it's a show.
Tell Fred what you think about it. Find Fred on Facebook and Instagram at Fred Rogan or email thedesertdean@gmail.com.
I have branches, but no fruit, trunk, or leaves. What am I? A bank.
Got that one tonight. Sometimes you see things that are pretty bad, other times you see things that are pretty good. Viewer DeMel captured the most respectable thing he's seen in a long time. DeMel said this is the most considerate group of motorcycles I've ever seen. And I have to agree, look at that perfect form, perfectly within the lines, and perfectly considerate. So to DeMel, and especially the most considerate motorcycle group in the Coachella Valley, great job. All right, that'll wrap it up for us tonight. Thanks so much for watching. Go to the website if you want to see the content from the program. Wheel of Fortune is next.